Hey everybody, it's Stefan here on Ginger Queer Chat. I'm gonna do two things for you guys today. Since I was super busy last week getting yard sale stuff and whatever, working overtime and all the crazy things I have to do before I move to Tucson. So, anyways, so last week's topic was how can non-genderqueer people be good allies? And I think the rest of the people on the channel did a really good job of outlining what makes a good ally. To me, the most important thing is just respecting your name and your pronouns. And for genderqueer people specifically, as opposed to like generally transgender or binary identified people, I really appreciate it when you don't gender things at all. Like not saying things like, hey ladies, or like, you know, boys do this, girls do that, or, you know, boys only party, girls only party, boys night out, things like that. Like, I would just prefer things to just not be gendered at all, because I don't want to have to navigate that, especially with my friends. So yeah, just anything that makes me have to choose to be one thing or another, I'm not a fan of. So to me, being a good ally is like not making me have to make those decisions. Yeah. So this week's topic is, will we change, or like would we decide to change our gender marker on our documents, and like, do we plan to? And then furthermore, if surgery was not a requirement, would we be more apt to, or plan on it? So I have had surgery, so I can now change my like driver's license and passport and stuff like that to male. If I wanted to. I can't change my birth certificate because New York State requires you to have a hysterectomy as well. And so I guess like there's two things going on with this question. The first thing is like surgery being a requirement for changing your gender. I don't think it should be. I honestly don't know why gender has to be on anything. Like, it really doesn't make a difference. I mean, trans and genderqueer people, you know, should specifically exemplify this. Like, you know, there's, like, nobody can even define gender or sex or figure out exactly what should be required, so requiring surgery that no one's even going to see is just ridiculous. And then, you know, just having your gender written on anything, it doesn't really tell you anything about the person. I mean, there's all this, like, Real ID Act stuff going on with, like, having all of your documents match and things like that, which is a real problem for people who have changed some of their documents gender-wise and are not allowed to change other documents, such as their birth certificate. So, I mean, I don't even know why it has to be a thing. I mean, I don't know. They say it's like for terrorists and this and that and the other thing, but I don't know. It just sounds like bullshit to me. So, yeah. So surgery should not be a requirement for changing your gender stuff, and furthermore, gender just shouldn't be on anything. Personally, I am choosing not to change my gender on any of my documents. First of all, it's just a real hassle to go and change all of your stuff. I changed my name on everything, and it was definitely a process. And there's still stuff that hasn't been changed yet. Like I have one credit card that I haven't bothered changing, and I have like my utility bill I haven't bothered changing, stuff like that. So I mean, like, there's always going to be like things like that you like forget to change or you don't bother with or whatever that like might come up, and you know, you're like, oh yeah, later on it's a different name. For me, like, my chosen name is similar enough to my birth name that it hasn't become an issue, but I could definitely see where, like, if you're changing your name to something crazy, different than your birth name, where you might run into problems if you forget stuff. So yeah, like, so same thing with gender, like, it's just a big hassle to do all of that documentation and stuff. And second of all, it's like what JT said in terms of, I mean, I don't really feel male, as much as I don't feel female, so, changing all of my documentation to male, like, doesn't make it that much easier for me. It doesn't, you know, accurately describe my gender identity and or my sex. Since I like don't plan on having lower surgery at all. Yeah, like not even a hysterectomy, because I mean I'm not gonna mess with things as long as they're working fine. And yeah, like having even the histo required for changing your documents is stupid, because first of all, it takes away your reproductive rights if you ever want to have children. And second of all, it's just why should people care whether you have your bits or not? Like, it's stupid. But anyways, yeah, like if they let me change it to other, or let me like take it off of my documentation or something like that, or like an X for gender or something like that, I would consider doing it. But as long as the choices are just F or M, I don't really see any benefit in changing any of my documentation. Also, a thing to consider is if I change it to M, I have to go ahead and get an exemption form for selective service, and so that's one more hassle. And also, like, if I'm going through an airport security or something like that and need to be patted down, I would much rather have a female do it than a man. That's just like what my comfort level is. And so, and I mean, I still use women's restrooms, you know, now and then. And so I would like to not have that be an issue if I prefer to be in women's space over men's space. And I feel I can still do that because I have like my documentation backing me up. So, but yeah, it's really complicated, and I mean I might change my mind at some point if I feel it's necessary. But I mean I really don't think that people even notice like gender markers on things. Yeah. So alright, I guess that's it for this week, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright.